with that, let us bring in Tom Homan, Fox News contributor, retired acting ICE director, and Heritage Foundation visiting fellow. We're going to pop up a map right now, Tom, that shows the Biden administration approving projects to fill in gaps and replace gates along the southern border wall. Are they serious with this, Tom? Are they just realizing now that a border wall is a good thing? What am I missing here?
Look, they realize from day one. All they got to look at the data. The data is clear on the CBP website. Every place they built a border barrier, every single place, illegal immigration reduced, illegal drug flow reduced. But they opened the border up. They intended to open the border up. Everything they've done, they intended to open the border up, so they knew what they were doing. So now we're getting close to election, and so now they're starting to worry about the election. They're not doing it for the right reasons. They're not doing it to secure the border. They're not doing it to save lives. They're doing it for the election. But yeah, they knew from day one, borders save lives, borders work. And if you look at the surge going on right now, where's that surge happening? Where there's not a wall. That's where the people are coming.
Yeah, so we're hearing that they're filling gaps and replacing gates along the southern border wall. Do you have any more details on this? How much border wall they will be filling in, and if this could actually alleviate some of our southern border issues?
Well, it certainly is going to help the Border Patrol. Anything down there, any infrastructure they put down there, certainly going to help the Border Patrol who's already overwhelmed. But I don't think you're going to see miles of wall going up. They're going to fix holes in the gates where they just stopped. They came in the office, they just stopped, dead stop. So they didn't finish the projects were already like the gate. The gates are missing. So they got the walls on both sides and they got an open gate. It makes sense to close the gate. But again, they will not build miles of wall. They won't do it because they know it works, and this administration is all about open borders. Everything they've done on this border is by design. They haven't done one thing to slow the flow. Right. Everything is about releasing people quicker into the United States.
Meantime, Tom, the Biden administration closing in on a deal to resettle refugees in Spain to help deal with the surge of migrants at our border. Canada also vowing to take in Haitian migrants seeking work who have tried to cross from Mexico. What's your reaction when you see this administration, albeit that border wall that we just discussed or this plan to resettle migrants in Spain? What's your reaction when you see this administration trying to solve a problem that you, when you worked for the Trump administration, had already solved?
And there you go right there, right? So, because they shut down, we had the Safe Third Country Agreements. Well, if you're from Honduras and if you're escaping fear and persecution from your home government, which is asylum, and you get into Mexico, you should claim asylum in the first free country you come to. We had those agreements with El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras and Mexico, but they killed those agreements. So now all of a sudden, it's okay to not claim asylum in the United States and be able to claim asylum and be put in a different country. I don't get it. Again, it's got to be the elections, it's got to be midterms, because we had this. They killed it. President Biden signed over 90 executive orders, killing everything, abolishing every policy we created under the Trump administration that give us the most secure border in my lifetime. And now all of a sudden, the midterms are coming up, and I think they're worried, so they're going to start making some changes, but they won't last. Right after the midterms, they're going to be buried back to open borders. They're not fooling me for a minute.
Interesting. Yeah. We are hearing that the number of refugees that Canada and Spain are willing to take in is really just a drop in the bucket. But it does seem like that kind of outside-the-box thinking that the Trump administration was working with to try and alleviate this issue. So not a total win, but you could give credit where credit's due. Want to switch gears and talk about this. Yesterday, President Biden delivered a primetime address calling for stricter gun laws. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I respect the culture and the tradition and the concerns of lawful gun owners. At the same time, the Second Amendment, like all other rights, is not absolute. We need to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
And then, Tom, you went on to say if you can't ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, you should raise the age of purchase from 18 to 21, strengthen background checks. He also talked about red flag laws and alleviating the mental health crisis. Some of those things Republicans would support. Some they absolutely will not. What's your reaction to the president's speech last night?
Well, look, it's concerning every time. Look, there's been tragedies, I get it, but every time there's a tragedy, you want to talk about stomping on the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding American citizens. Look, crooks don't care about gun laws. How's it working in Chicago? The strictest gun laws in the country in Chicago and New York. How's it working in Chicago and New York? Mexico's a huge democracy. They have some of the tightest gun regulations in Mexico. How's it working in Mexico? Bad guys going to keep getting guns. They don't care about the law. But when you talk about the red flag laws, again, how are they going to design these laws? Who's going to make the decision that, yeah, you're going to lose your gun because you're a danger to the community? Who makes that decision? And if an ex-girlfriend or a neighbor calls and says he's dangerous, he needs to get his gun taken away, who makes that decision? And what rights does that law-abiding American citizen have to fight that process? So if they're going to talk about, gun legislation, I have no problem having the discussion, but every time they go there, they start talking about the law-abiding American citizen who has the Second Amendment rights being trampled upon. That's my concern. Have the discussion, but have a smart discussion that you make a difference and not just stomp on our rights to protect the criminals. So we're going to continue, no matter what they do, to get the guns. And the same people that want this legislation, they want to defund the police. They want no bail for them, no bail laws.
Yeah,
they want bail reform in New York City. So they want criminals released. So they don't care about holding the criminals accountable, but let's hold U.S. citizens accountable that have the right to carry a firearm.
Tom Homan, thank you very much, sir, as always.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.